Greetings, Marvel fans. Today we're in Marvel Snap and we're taking a look at the Avengers, well, not the Avengers Assemble, the Animals Assemble season, which is going to feature Hitmonkey and some variants on animals already in the game like Cosmo and Goose, aka Chewie, who happens to be sitting out in the hallway over here. Maybe he'll come in, you get to see Chewie. For those who don't know, one of my cats' name is Chewie, who is based off of the Miss Marvel cat in the comics, whereas Goose was his name in the movies. I guess maybe licensing or something. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start. So, I finished off last season, completed the Battle Pass above 50, so I got all of the program rewards and then a couple caches. Did get up to almost rank 30. I don't particularly push PvP that much, so I'm more focused on completing the pass and actually raising up the ladder. However, and I'll get on to a discussion of this in a little bit, friend of the channel, Darth Plato, helped me shape a deck and that I'll show off in just a little bit that really gave me a bucket of fun at the end of the season. And behind me is Anti-Venom, which is a card that sometimes when people join the unofficial Marvel Snap group on Facebook, they say they would like to see a card based off of Anti-Venom. And I think that would be great because the symbiotes right now, Carnage, Venom, and everything, they consume cards and they power up. Anti-Venom would be interesting if it could consume an enemy card or remove all of the abilities in a lane and then grow based on the abilities removed, including your own. So you could maybe feed cards to Anti-Venom on your side in an effort to beef him up, or put him in a lane where you don't have cards yet and have him consume sort of like a leech, but the cards that are on the field, like consume ongoing abilities and passive abilities and everything like that, and consume them and grow that way. That would be good for Anti-Venom because if you remember in Marvel Avengers Alliance, he had an ability called Purge that would remove an enemy's buffs and debuffs. So he removed good things and bad things. That's what Anti-Venom is all about. Like, it was even curing cancer and everything. So I think that could be an interesting take on the symbiotes, to have him, I think he's over here, and have him power up not by cards consumed, but by abilities consumed. So, second dinner, Benjamin Brody, if you're listening, give it a shot. So, Hitmonkey is the big thing in this particular season. So you can see here, this is his base card. On reveal, gain 2 power for each other card you played this turn. So I would think Sandman is going to be a really good counter to him. If you're concerned about Hitmonkey and his power, probably Sandman is the way to go so that he stays low. Some people are saying they're running him right now with Mr. Negative, which would convert him to a 0-2. And I think if you do that, he might work good in a Thor deck with Mjolnir and Jane Foster, possibly throwing Wasp at him, Yellow Jacket, maybe anybody else that Mr. Negative can flip, like a 6-0 Arnim Zola over to a 0-6, and maybe have Arnim copy him to other locations, so he would become a 0-2, then get beefed up, copied over. So from second dinner themselves, they said he goes good with Beast, Hood, Sarah, Mysterio, or Falcon. And we are also getting some animal-related avatars based on Goose, Hitmonkey, and Cosmo. 2 new card backs, including Cosmo in his really heavy Flurkin mode. Goose in his heavy Flurkin mode. Cosmo. Some variants. Coming to Series 5 is Jeff. Jeff is the land shark who was paired up with Gwenpool and then later Elsa. I didn't really know Jeff that much, so I had to check on him, and apparently he was adopted by Gwenpool when she was with the West Coast Avengers, even had a dolphin costume. So maybe we'll get Jeff, and then a variant will be Jeff in a dolphin costume. They said it was likely created by Brodok, which is a different version of Modok, along with all the other land sharks that attack Santa Monica. I think Jeff does play a little bit of a role in Marvel Duel, but I haven't been in Marvel Duel for months, especially since Snap came out. We're going to have Snow Guard. That Snow Guard, while in your hand, transforms each turn into a hawk or a bear. Snow Guard Hawk. On reveal, ignore all location abilities next turn. That could be interesting. I guess that would go really well if you think you're gonna have one of those days where, like, you can't play 1, 2, or 3 cards in a zone, and then she turns that off, or maybe that zone where you have a 25% chance for destruction, or every card played there is destroyed, or you can't play your first card there on a turn. I can imagine that would be good for Hawk. Bear, on reveal, trigger the effect of this location. Trigger the effect of this location. I mean, it would be, under most circumstances, it would be triggering anyway. The bear one's going to be interesting. Unless potentially you were feeding him into that 25% chance to destroy zone and you wanted him to destroy to feed death. I'm not really too sure how bear is going to work out exactly. We're also going to get Stegron from the Savage Land. On reveal, move an enemy card from here to another location. That could be interesting. I think maybe late game sending a goblin or a hobgoblin, green goblin or a hobgoblin, over to another zone to mess somebody up, maybe on turn 6. Like, they're like, okay, I've got a goblin in this lane, let me focus on these 2 over here, and then moving that goblin over. Maybe potentially synergy with Kingpin. Like, put Kingpin on your left, put Stegron in the middle, and hope in that 50-50 chance you send the card over to Kingpin, who should destroy it. Nimrod will go to... Let's see. You can expect new cards to release weekly, starting with last month's Season Pass card Nimrod, released as a Series 5 card April 4th, so that's today. People might be able to get Nimrod. Snowguard on the 11th, Jeff on the 18th, and Stegron on the 25th. And Jeff ignores, by the way, I forgot to cover this, nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. I would wonder, I'm curious about Galactus, though. If there was a way of, like, the zones were destroyed and you still had Jeff and you still had the ability to play him, would you be able to play him somewhere? That'd be interesting. We have 2 new locations. Pet Mansion this turn. All cards must be played here. The Sandbar, cards with abilities can't be played here. Maybe some Patriot decks going on in that one, like a Misty Knight and Patriot. We've got some brand new variants for Uatu, Captain America, Thor, Ant-Man, Death, Mr. Fantastic, Nick Fury, Black Cat, Frog of Thor bundle. The variant, the Avatar, Cold-Blooded, 3,000 tokens, 155 Thor boosters, and 7,000 gold is going to be the cost. The Avengers. I've seen... So Marvel's Avengers by Square and Crystal had Cap Wolf. This seems like Cap Cat. Yeah, Captain Americat. Mooster Fantastic. Oh, that's a terrible, terrible name. Ant variant and Avatar. Captain Boosters, Mr. Fantastic Boosters, Ant-Man Boosters, $5.99. This is a pretty good bundle. This is not that expensive. I think this one's worth it. Dan Hip, Devil Dinosaur, Moon Girl. I generally hate Dan Hip variants in this game. However, that Devil Dino is pretty cool. The Moon Girl's a little less so, but I really like the Devil Dino. 2,000 credits, a bunch of boosters for them, 2,900 gold. I don't think I would get that bundle, to be honest. A very chibi-looking Groot. And I don't even know how to describe that. Hella gardening is what they're calling it. That's hella weird is what I'll call it. Groot on a swing, hella gardening, gold, credits, boosters, $10. Not bad. E-Girl, Squirrel Girl, or Twitch streamer Squirrel Girl, as we could call this one. The tokens bundle, Rian Gonzalez variant, a Rian Gonzalez avatar, 4.5k tokens, Squirrel Girl boosters, 5,000 gold, and a Team Cat bundle, Title Cats Rule, credits, random boosters, or a Team Dog bundle. Alright, so we've got some interesting stuff coming up. We do have Taco Tuesday going on. We do have Token Tuesday, but let's take a look here at the Battle Pass. We have Hitmonkey at level 1, credits, boosters, a mystery variant, a new title, marking your deck, credits, gold, and then we get a kind of cute Cosmo avatar. Cosmo variant. I gotta admit, that card is kind of cool. Mystery. A Flurkenback. I like that Flurkenback. I would definitely use that one when I get to it. I like the colors on it. Not potty trained. Kind of hysterical. This kind of cute Flurkin Goose over here. Not bad. I don't think I would use that one, though. It's a little too much. This Goose card, I might actually use the card, but I don't think I would use the avatar. We've got Goose boosters, mystery variants, Hitmonkey boosters, the Hitmonkey avatar, and then finally, at the last part, we have the cyborg variant of Hitmonkey with what honestly looks like Winter Soldier's arm. So, the deck that I was writing right at the very end of the season, I called All Along. Yes, I know I have an X-Men back to it, and there's not really any mutants in here other than Domino. But I grabbed Agatha randomly towards the end of the season, and I ran it by Darth and had some discussions with him, and he gave me one deck idea that he talked about for Agatha, even though he's not using one, and I have a slightly different variation on it. Domino in round 2, and then either a Sif or Wave in round 3. Sif will generally discard Agatha unless something happens like a zone flips my power and whatnot, which I've seen happen. And Sif discarded the wrong thing there, but Sif in round 3 so that Agatha either gets axed or Wave in round 3, and then Agatha becomes cheap. So then in 4, Agatha is typically discarded or played manually via Wave. 4, if it's not through Wave, Ghost Rider brings her back, and now I have control of my hand. We've got Crossbones, Taskmaster. Warning, if you do Ghost Rider to bring Agatha back, don't Taskmaster that, because you'll only Taskmaster Ghost Rider. I had that happen once. We've got Devil Dino, Arrow, Spider-Woman, Red Skull, and America Chavez. So America Chavez and Domino, they shrink the deck a little bit. Basically, this deck never has a turn 1 play. Domino always goes in 2, and then you typically see a Wave or a Sif in 3, and then you could. This is planned out well. I like this deck because it plans out well, and it's honestly a lot of fun. Seeing Agatha play and comment on things and everything. I had a lot of wins running this deck in like the last 2 days of the season. It was pretty much undefeated unless something really, really screwy happened with the zones. But here is how my collection looks at the moment. I think the last time we touched base, there's been a lot of changes. Bast came in for me. Did pick him up. A bunch of random variants all over. Picked up this Black Widow recently. And let's see. I know I've got some higher up, like there's a Ronin I've picked up. This Wolverine in the Rain, which does look cool, but I kind of want to top this one off before. Well, I already did. Actually, I may switch to this Wolverine. By the way, if you've never seen how to do it, you go to your cards, you go to the cubes, and then just star that, and that's how you can switch it for all your decks. I always knew how to switch it when you get the variant. You could set it as a favorite, but I happened to stumble upon how you can do it from here. Maria Hill, I think I may not have ever covered that one yet. So I've got Maria Hill, got the Peach Momoko Mystique, which I'm not running yet, because I was running a Lockjaw deck that was leveling my Mystique a lot, and now she is past infinity. She's been split. I picked up Venom somewhere 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Was happy about that. He's now in a death deck. Got a whole bunch of storms. Got a couple debris. Kingpin, I think I have covered in a video. Mr. Negative, I think was in one of the last videos. Finally got Wong. Was really happy about that. This pretty cool Spider-Man variant. Grabbed Rescue at some point. Grabbed Drax in there. Typhoid Mary, I think, has made it in a video. There's Ronan. He's relatively new. I haven't built any decks around Ronan yet because I don't have Darkhawk. I did grab Valkyrie. Valkyrie, I'm not too sure if I'm running her in a deck. There's Nimrod from last season. Picked up Captain Marvel at one point, but I'm not running her. Not running Black Bolt anywhere. There's my Modocs. There's my Zolas. Dr. Doom. Hela, I just picked up over the weekend. I did insert her into my discard deck. I've never used my leader after his nerf. And that is pretty much it. So that is what's going on for me with my new cards. Gonna go ahead and grab Token Tuesday. And I got some Korg boosters. Yay, don't care. And this is me getting close to Shadow King, who I have pinned. Set all cards here to their original base power. I'm sure some interesting things could do it. Coulson seems to be my freebie. Add a random 4 or 5 cost. I think I will hold off for a different one. I'm sure I could build a good deck around that. A Helicarrier collector kind of deck. When I'm not really using that deck, I want to ride out the Agatha one for a while longer because it's doing so well, so I'm not interested in that. And Gamora, Spider-Man, Human Torch are my boostables right now. Let's see what I get for my variant as I collect cards over here. I really wish we can get an update to the game that allows us to go past 20 decks, because I have resorted to... That's an impressive leader. That kind of looks like Mother Brain from Metroid. Marking your deck. Credits. And some gold. Okay. I wish I could go past 20, because what I've been doing is I've been screenshotting a deck and deleting it and inserting a new one in there, but On Reveal used to be my main, and you can see from its cards, it was for a long, long time. I just haven't used it in a while, unless that's my daily, is to do On Reveals. Ongoing was my second deck. There's my discard duty. Hela got inserted in there. Control, which is a Magic the Gathering term. It is basically controlling a lot of the battlefield and enemy deck. Iceman, Scorpion, Stealing via Cable, Baron, Professor X, Leech, who people absolutely hate, Scarlet Witch if I don't like a location. This one is probably up next on the chopping block. Handy Fury, this is my collector deck that utilizes Moon Girl and Nick Fury. This is where Coulson would go, to be honest. Maybe take Absorbing Man out, put Coulson in. Maria Hill is in there. No Power, that's a Patriot deck. Darth Death, so this is the Death deck that my friend of the channel, Darth Plato, was running. I removed my own Death deck over the weekend to put in the Agatha deck. I do run this Darth deck quite often. I do like it. This is Doomrod, which is Dr. Doom, Nimrod, and Arnim Zola. That's the end game of this one, with Electro trying to help it out with a boost in energy. John, which is my Lockjaw deck. Nuggy Negs, which is my Mr. Negative deck. This is probably could be an interesting one for Hitmonkey, but it would require a lot of changes. I would want a whole bunch of cheapies in there to proc him. Nuisance, this is very, very similar to the control deck. It was designed to try to annoy people early game and make them quit. Maybe have Yondu snipe an important card, fill their deck up with rocks from Korg, block their deck with Black Widow, weaken their power, give them an expensive card, Cosmo blocking a lane, Enchantress blocking a lane, Professor X, Spider-Man could have gone in here. Don't have Galactus. That deck can probably go. It's kind of a trolling deck. Omega Lulz is all about Warpath, Crossbones, Onslaught, Omega Red. Cerebro 2 is a 2-power Cerebro deck. Dradoc, which is MODOK and Dracula. This is a discard deck. I like this one. I like Morbius and Dracula. I was running this one for quite some time. This one did pretty well. King Nito is Magneto and Kingpin. This Arrow is in there. This would also be a good one for that move. The new card that's coming that says move a card here to another location. Destroy all humans is Destroyer. Electro Ramp was a pretty popular deck towards the end of last season with Sandman and Electro in there. Not Where You Think is my Mystique and Wong deck over here. This is just a very, very typical deck about doing a lot of on reveal effects and everything. Bast in the Saddle is my Bast deck about flipping powers and cost, and then All Along we've already talked about. So what do you think about the new season, the Animals Assemble? What do you think about Hitmonkey? Have you already designed a deck around him? If you were to take a look at the unofficial Marvel Snap group, some people are saying he needs a buff unless you got a deck of 1s or 0s. Heart for the Season Pass rewards. Hitmonkey might already be my favorite card. How long till we start seeing nerf calls? So this is interesting. Somebody's calling for a buff. Somebody's saying he should be nerfed. I have to admit, I really enjoy playing with Monkey. Gets a good boost from Beast. This is some patch notes which we've already gone over. Somebody's saying, is there any good Hitmonkey decks out there? Here is not a Mr. Negative one. This is one that I had talked about. Wasp, Yellow Jacket, a demon coming from Hood, Bast, making everybody have a certain amount of power, which would help Hitmonkey, Beast, Falcon, Mysterio with the clones, Bishop, Taskmaster, Blue Marvel, Magic. So it turns 7. Interesting to see Magic with Hitmonkey. On like Diddy Kong, Hood, Bast, Angela, Hitmonkey, the Collector. Collector would be good for Beast if you have a lot of return cards. Mojo, Falcon, Mysterio, Bishop, Shang-Chi, America Chavez. Here we have Hitmonkey, Domino, Agent Coulson, a Helicarrier, which I don't have, an Iceman, Angela, Zero, which I don't have. So, yeah, people are already coming up with some pretty good Hitmonkey decks, and it really does seem like Falcon and Beast are going to be the key, and potentially a run via Mr. Negative. So, there you go. What do you guys think of the Animals Assemble season? How did you do in the Nimrod season that we just came out of? And what was your, aside from the Battle Pass, how did you do in the Battle Pass? How did you do in your ladder ranks? And as for any Marvel Avengers Alliance updates, they're coming fast and furious from Goofy. We're not ready to do a video quite yet. but there is definitely going to be some updates coming to Marvel Avengers Alliance, probably within the next couple weeks, as Goofy has been putting in a lot of work and has been releasing a lot of updates on Facebook and Discord. So if you're not there, ask me how to get there and I'll show you. See you, everybody.